So, let's take a look at the daily challenge. For today we have Awoken Stygian. Mutators are tissue paper. Any non-boss enemy that enters the pyro room gets fragile, so it dies as soon as it loses health. Friendly units get heartless from hollow, so they can't be healed. And strike hard gives all units multi-strike. Hi Azuro, welcome. So, the usual Awoken main clan hollow combination. But this time around we have strike hard for some big damage potential. There are quite a few scores over 50k already, and most of the scores here on the first page are around 49 to 50k, although there are a few that are quite significantly above it. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty high powered run. So let's jump in and see how it goes. We are starting out with Razor Sharp Edge, Ice Tornado and Preserve Thorns in our starting deck. And our final boss is gonna be the Spell Consuming Seraph. So we have to deal with Blights and Scorches. Starting cards are looking pretty good. Razor Sharp Edge is excellent scaling if everyone has multi-strike. And the other spells are also quite useful in general. Ice Tornado can potentially help mitigate some damage by killing backliners. Let's take a look at the relic. Guild Marker vs Traitor's Quill. Guild Marker is great. Traitor's Quill is obviously good because we are up against Seraph the Diligent. So our first spell cast in that fight will always consume first card every turn, but I still think Guild Marker is better overall. And obviously we don't really want to go with the Rejuvenate Sentient when there is Hollow enabled. We can still trigger it with healing spells, but that's the only benefit we are gonna get from those healing spells, so let's go with Spikes instead. Spikes is especially good because all the enemies have multi-strike, and that means they will hit the spikes twice. Mark of Invasion, sure, let's take it. 75 coins, and we want the score obviously. Stings are great. We do want to kill these top floor guys, for sure. I think I am gonna set up the bottom floor. I'm also gonna remove one of these. A single Ice Tornado can take out the remaining ones. And do I want a Razor Sharp Edge? I think so. That kills the Forge Disciple. Bramble-Ash seems very possible. This is a bit unfortunate. I do have the Ice Tornado, but we also have the Collector on this floor. Now the Collector has worth 50 points, 50 score, because each gold is worth 1 score. Each of these units is dealing 2 damage. 2 damage each is 20 score. So our best move is killing the Collector with a Bramble-Ash and Frozen Lancing 2 of these guys. In terms of score, at least. Let's put down a train sword in the back and enhance it with razor sharp edge. And that should be enough to get the boss down. Sure is. Okay. Left us with 2 damage taken this fight. Oh, actually each of these guys was 40 score. I miscalculate that because of the multi-strike, yeah. Obviously we don't want restoration, detonation. We don't really need sharpen as much, but it benefits from the multi-strike as well, so it's not bad. Sting, Sting isn't amazing, but it can work pretty well in case we go with Incant, and that seems very possible. I think I'll take a single Sting here. Offering token, Ice Tornado, Flash Freeze. I wouldn't mind an offering token if I had any offering spells, but currently I don't. I definitely don't want a third Ice Tornado. I think I'm going with offering token for now. We'll have to see how we make use of it. Do I want a Awoken unit and a unit shop right now? I think I'd much rather have spell upgrades. With multi-strike we are mostly looking for scaling units. Yeah, let's go to the left. I think there is a very high chance we end up with some sort of income build here. I kind of want to cost reduce these Ice Tornadoes so I can more easily play them. I could also cost reduce the razor sharp edges, but I think I prefer the Ice Tornadoes for now. Let's also upgrade these Frozen Lances because they are not our priority to remove, and I don't think I want to get the Permafrost right now. There's nothing to double stack right now. Let's cost reduce the other Ice Tornado as well. Damage upgrade could go on Sting, could go on an Ice Tornado. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be too important to increase the damage on these Ice Tornadoes. I'm gonna give it to Sting, and I'm also gonna purge 2 restores from my deck right away. Because these are pretty terrible when we can't heal. Enemy unit center with armor 10. Sure, we get a draft, a unit draft, which is pretty nice. I am looking for some sort of incant unit mostly. Let's start out with an Ice Tornado. Set up Sentient. Use a razor sharp edge, and I'm also gonna throw out these things to get more draws next turn. Think we use a Sting to get rid of this guy. I am also interested in setting up a train steward in the back here and enhance it with razor sharp edge. I could instead use the Ice Tornado to... that wouldn't even do a whole lot because the Forged Disciple would most likely survive. Yeah, let's play the offering token first though. Razor sharp edge, and then we play another train steward. Another edge on the backliner. Maybe that should have gone on the frontliner instead, because this boss has spikes. Yeah, definitely should have played that on the Sentient. We're a bit short on damage here, mostly because the train steward dies very early. think we can do better than that. I forgot that we were up against the Spike boss there. You know, maybe I shouldn't even bother killing these guys with an Ice Tornado. One Razor Sharp Edge on the backliner brings him up from 20 damage to 45. Another one would bring him up to 50, so that's still a buff. But I think any future ones are better placed on the Sentient. This allows me to play Ice Tornado in this situation instead. In case we draw a Sting, we didn't. Yeah, I'm not even losing any health on that unit. I am gonna consume this Frozen Lance. And a nice Tornado here should do the trick. These work much better. Sting, Vine Grasp, Wildwood Sap. Do I want another Sting? Probably Vine Grasp is better at this point. Just so we have something to kill backliners before they attack, but honestly, having more Stings in the deck allows us to more easily pick capacity because we get a bunch of draw from the Stings, and if we get a lot of draw relics, the Stings become a little bit worse. I think I'll take one more Sting. I am at this point pretty much relying on getting an Incant build off. Let's take a Crypt Builder to hit frontliners. This is not the unit I want in my Incant build that I'm thinking about. I think our frontliner is mostly gonna be the Sentient, although that doesn't have to be the case. Especially because we can't heal them up. Animals of Speed is actually a pretty decent unit to just put on a floor to kill stragglers. I kind of like that. Ah, yeah. Incant Sentient with Vine Grasp. Draw Sentient with Vine Grasp. That would have been interesting. Maybe I should have taken the Vine Grasp for that reason. And then hope to find the Draw Sentient later. But we're past that point. I do kinda want a Stygian unit. Relic wouldn't be bad either. But it's gonna be our only Stygian Banner we have available. And it pays off. We get the Nameless Siren. Very nice. We currently don't have great spells to dupe. Preserve Thorns is pretty good though. Take a look at this event. Copy a card 5 times. So we have a total of 6 dupes available here. Is it ever just Preserve Thorns? Maybe not. No, I think it is just Preserve Thorns. We need to go very heavy into Incant though. Not so heavy that I want to dupe a non-upgraded Nameless Siren, but I do probably want to upgrade the Nameless Siren and dupe her immediately afterwards. Now, with so many Stings, what are we lacking? We are lacking backline clear. No, we aren't. We have our champion. We are lacking defense. But we have nothing in the deck that could grant us defense. Preserve Thorns is 4 spells cast, so we gain 8 rage on an Incant Siren, which translates into 16 attack, which translates into 32 damage after multi-strike. While Razor Sharp Edge would be 10 attack and 2 rage, so 14 attack. So not quite as good as Preserve Thorns. And it also reduces the health. I think it's just another Preserve Thorns. We'll just sting everyone to death with the power of our Rage Siren. No Rage Siren in the opening hand though, that's annoying. Oh yeah, it's an additional 15 damage from the stings as well. But you wrote that very weirdly. There we go, now we can start the incants. Should also play the Ice Tornado. Now the question is, can we get a flying kill? We're pretty far off still. I'm not that far off, actually. Actually, we have it. 4-turn boss rush against Daedalus. Pretty nice start. Sure. Although that's an insane amount of damage with all the things in our deck. We currently have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 additional spells in our deck after we cycled it once. So with something like a holdover ancient synergy, we could just nuke everything. Gifts for a Guard would be a good way to get our stings out of the deck once we pull them out of the Preserve Thorns. And Adaptive Mutation would be a way to make our Nameless Siren very tanky on top of being very high powered. I don't think we need that tankiness though. Gifts for a Guard is also just another card that is 4 incant triggers in one. But Ancient Synergy is so much damage. That's the way to make our to make our Nameless Siren hit the backline easily against even the tankiest of opponents. I think we want that. We will need that against Seraph. We could just get the Siren of the Sea as our frontliner. And don't even bother with the Sentient. I mean, we have so many incant triggers. That should just be how we play this. Do we need draw? I don't think we need draw. Once we played our first Preserve Thorns, we should be drawing 10 cards almost every turn. Once we played our first Preserve Thorns though. But we have 7 in the deck. Shouldn't take too long. I want capacity. I want to be able to fit more Sirens and Totems on a single floor. And I want unit upgrades and removals, yes. Yeah, that seems perfect. Unlikely to pick any of these. Quick, no. I kind of like the Incant gain armor on the Siren of the Sea, so we have a decent tank. The quick is not amazing. Large stone, also not great. The extra stats on the Nameless Siren are useful actually. And we could even give spikes to the Siren of the Sea, so weak backliners would die when hitting it. But that's a pretty weak upgrade, to be honest. I think I'll just leave it at that. I am gonna get rid of the Animals of Speed, so we are guaranteed to draw Sirens early. And yeah, let's remove the other Restore. I think at this point we don't need that draw. Unless we can trigger it during our own turn, which we currently can't. Let's get the spikes. Yeah, and I think we go on Seal of Aggression. Also, there's another Merchant of Steel coming up. Yeah. I think I might want to visit that. Looking for damage upgrades or multi-strike. We currently have the room to just put them all in one floor. Put down the Siren, offering token, discard the Sting. And let's start enchanting. I just want to cast more spells. Nice Tornado and a Frozen Lance. Okay. It's 15:30. Yeah, we're gonna play Cryptilla anyway. Might as well play it now, so we don't take any damage on our Sentient. There we go. Big Siren Sisters. Wow. Hi Narninian. How much damage per turn is this relic for us? That's about 100 extra damage a turn, or even more. I'll take a Pyre Shot. I think I'll take a Guardian Stone. No. We don't need a Guardian Stone. We want offensive incants, not this armor stuff. We don't need armor. Ice Storm maybe? We won't be able to upgrade it next floor. Another floor after. That's a bit too far in the future. And we want to be able to draw a full hand every turn. We don't want permafrost. There we go, another multi-strike there. Some extra HP on the Siren of the Sea would be good. Next up, duping the Rage Siren. Yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to kill Seraph right now. Just warp right there. Glad we got a Preserve Thorns in our opening hand. Maybe I should have set up higher. We want to play the Preserve Thorns on this floor. Even though we want to use it on the top floor. Nice. Preserve Thorns. Need to kill these guys. So Preserve Thorns. Sentient survives. Hey Narnian! Thank you so much for subscribing at tier 2 for the second month in a row. Welcome to the channel and enjoy your emotes in chat. These things are now hitting so hard as well. And the Ancient Zenotchi is also hitting pretty hard. I think we should be tanky enough against the boss. Not quite yet. The amount of attacks he gets to do with multi-strike on him as well is pretty scary. Wow. I have 180 health on this guy. How much are you doing? Yeah, you're doing a whole lot. That's a problem. A problem I didn't expect, to be honest. We need to be more careful about the health of our champion then. I forgot how brutal this boss is with Strike Hard. How do we deal with this then? Still think I wanna set up on the bottom floor. But maybe I wanna be using the Train Steward as a buffer here. These guys still all die, so... And I also think I wanna... No, if I kill one of these, we'll actually take more damage. Preserve some health on our champion. We set up the Siren. These three need to die. So does the Collector. We can kill one of these with a Razor Sharp Edge, which allows us to take out all of the small guys here before combat starts. It leaves us with a lot more health on our champion this time. Now I just need to optimize the number of incants over anything else. So we don't play 2 costs, we only play 0 and 1 cost spells. And we also don't play Ancient Synergy. We should instead play the Train Steward, so we draw into more spells on average. There we go. We managed to hit the breakpoint where our nameless... No! I messed it up. I messed it up. I forgot that this backliner guy was gonna die and hit and change the breakpoint to 14 health. Can't play that spell. Okay. For now at least we know we can deal with that boss. Yeah. That's very true, non-minion. Yeah, I guess most Monster Train players are. Most Monster Train players make the mistake of keeping to cast when they no longer need to. This is pretty surprising how close this fight ends up being. There we go. We actually need to tank a hit with the Rage Siren. Wow. I thought we had so much scaling though. I think we don't have enough Preserve Thorns yet. Glacial Seal, now that's more like it. That's a pretty good incant trigger. Also, I just realized, I think I've seen a Restoring Retreat earlier, and I should totally have taken that. I have no idea how I managed to skip that. Glacial Seal. Every incant is 2 Frostbite. That might not be worth it. I think it isn't. No, it is. It's very valuable early on. We no longer need unit upgrades. I think we want to look at as many relics as possible. We want to be able to find not Sketches, not Petrified Crucible, definitely not Septap. Winged Steel is fine. That's a card we draw after we already played some cards. Random Awoken, Stygian or Umbra consumable card. Space Prism maybe? Pack Morsels, not interested. Let's remove some cards. It's gotta be Space Prisms, right? And I don't think we want any of these. No, we definitely do not. Okay. Still haven't duped my Rage Siren. And I will only have the chance here at this in the final ring, just before Seraph. Should be good enough. Do we need to break the other statues? Not really. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Sentient on this floor. Because I do want to have the Glacial Seal. Yeah. Umbra for Space Prism is very often correct. But sometimes the other consume cards can be quite useful as well. Yeah, next floor up makes the most sense. Because we now have this Glacial Seal and that's pretty important. We wanna grow our Sirens as much as possible this turn. Can hit hard once Seraph comes around. Wait, did I say Seraph? I meant Fell, obviously. And that's pretty good. But is it good enough? How much damage are we doing with our stings on an average turn? Like, we have no more preserved spikes. So we need about 20. We need 24 stings to kill Fell. Before that's gonna happen, Fell is gonna come back down to the bottom floor. Although we have ancient synergies to help. And the bottom floor is already taken care of. Okay. You know, we would have been able to get a kill if we focused on it this turn. think. Yeah, I wanna try. I think that we don't need to play the Siren's bottom, but I think it might be the right place anyways. Hitting fell on turn 1. Problem is, on turn 1 we are not doing a whole lot of damage. We need to scale first. And right now scaling is still more important than dealing damage to fell. Although the Pyre Shards are pretty weak. Should be using the Razor Sharp Edge instead. Yeah. It's more damage than a Pyre Shards. It's 20 damage, 60 damage. $90 damage 3 times. That is a win, but we take the damage from the ultimate penance. Because she only dies to Frostbite. And we could be a turn faster. But then we need to set up top. Might as well do it at this point. Set up the top floor and have the floor 2 twice. No. Top floor is the best setup because that's right. Should be top floor, I think. If we set up second floor, we are not any faster at all. Because she won't hit the second floor early enough for us to get the kill there. Like next turn she's gonna go down to the bottom and then come back to the top. And that's when we get her. That's the only time when we can get her. But maybe I should actually focus more on scaling. Less on scaling and more on dealing damage to her. I see the problem. And I see why you guys say second floor is the best, but second floor can't be the best. I also messed up. And again. Yes. Top, mid, bottom, mid, top. Really? I thought it was top, mid, bottom, top, mid. If that's correct, then yeah, mid is definitely the best setup. I missed that second. I mean, honestly, this setup just makes the most sense because like in general, it's a good setup to have Spike sentient on the bottom floor. Yeah, that's pretty good for Frostbite at the very least. Now the question is, do we play our spells on the bottom floor? Yeah, we do. Definitely. This is only 20 damage. This is actually 25. Okay, see, so she does hit mid again. That's a bit unexpected. Oh well. Deep offering. Draw another 5 spikes. Stings. That sounds great. Do we want another capacity? I think so. More capacity means more incant. The setup is gonna be a bit slow, but still good. Yeah, let's move to the left. I want some spell upgrades. Stygian. We can't make one Hornstone work. That's... No, we can. We totally can. We just need to double cost reduce it. Do we want that? Think so. It's a pretty decent chunk of damage. It might, however, not be better than Ancient Synergy. But we will have a second Merchant pretty soon. The magic upgrades don't even matter. Double stack. Too bad we can't. Too bad we don't have the energy for that. And I think we leave. We don't really care about the other upgrades. We do care about our gold though. That's gonna be extra score. We can't have Siren of the Sea all on her own on the bottom floor. What we can do is we can draw first. It's not gonna be good enough. So we have to play the Sentient here. It's enough to kill everyone on the bottom floor. Now we're playing with Side Sting, it's Frozen Lands. The Razor Sharp Edge. The boss is so dead. Yeah. Indeed. First round of combat. Skip? Or is it Pyrogrow? Pyrogrow has basically no drawback. And the extra ember can be valuable against the final boss. Very much so. Pilestone housing, but we can make use of that. I don't think the others matter. No double incants. I guess we have to work with what we have then. Double stack? No. The cost reductions are still relevant. If we don't have holdover available, might as well cost reduce the synergy again. That should be beneficial, but maybe I shouldn't have spent that gold. I want another nameless siren, because that's pretty much our best scaling element. Remove the final crane steward, remove the... one of the ice tornadoes. Split anvil might help. Split anvil might actually be decent, but I don't think we need it at this point. Hi Rossum! We have a few 3 ember cards, yes. But I don't really intend to play them a lot. This first turn is pretty crucial. Uh, 50 plus another 75. We have to set up... Oh! Maybe we don't set up the sirens on the bottom floor. We set up the sentient but on the sirens. That makes sense. Hi Rossum, a lot of restarts today. Not because things are going bad for me, but more because I do a lot of optimizations for score. Because today's daily is very competitive in terms of score. This is not the unit I want to give spikes to, but it's the only one I have right now. Let's set up all the sirens. Let's set up Pyrogrow. Let's use offering token to discard the vengeful shards. And then let's scale away. Seraphs on our floor, and we have a Glacial Seal, very nice. We are gonna play Ancient Synergy and Razor Sharp Edge, I guess. Create all the things first and then hit him with the synergy. Finally, a Razor patch. Now the question is, well, the next time Seraph comes to this floor, Seraph is dead. So we might as well focus on getting him down now, if that's ever possible. If it's at all possible, we need to play spells on his floor. Well, not like we are doing any damage to him this turn. Should have played the Consuming Lance. Looks like we got the kill next turn. If he's going back to the middle floor. There we go. 5 turn boss rush. We broke the 50k, but other than that, nothing too crazy for this daily. I mean, this daily is pretty crazy in itself, but... Hi Alex, welcome. Yeah, 51k. 8 Preserved Thorns and Channel Heart. Now imagine if we found the... Looks like top is a turn. Yeah, top was probably a turn faster. I stopped paying attention to that in the final fight. Well, I mean 51k is pretty solid. There are quite a few players who managed to score higher than that. Let's take a look at the top 2 here. Ranger Elm. Ranger Elm went with Nameless Siren, Shattered Shell, Train Steward, Preserved Thorns, Urchin Spines, and Bramble Lash. Deep Offering and Gifts for a God. So Bramble-Lash, Urchin Spine, Spell Weakness 4, that makes Bramble-Lash hit for 2000. Okay, that's a one-turn kill most of the time. If you draw into Gifts for a God, you should be able to get it off. Because you will draw into either Deep Offering or the Preserved Thorns. Well, not the Preserved Thorns. Or well, you might draw into those as well. But there's a very high... Is it guaranteed that this deck kills on turn 1? You could draw Sentient, Nameless Siren, Shattered Shell, Train Steward, and Preserved Thorns. Then you would draw with Winged Steel and draw Urchin Spines. Or Bramble-Lash. Yeah, it's not guaranteed, but it's incredibly likely. If you draw any of Deep Offering or Gifts for a God, you do have the guaranteed kill, I think. Not 100%. Deep Offering guarantees it, Gifts for a God has a chance to fail. But only if you have drawn every unit in the deck already. Yeah, solid deck. And... Comrade. Comrade went with a different build, took Ember Stasis, found Ember Stasis, and Nameless Siren, a lot of them, some with Quick, but still had a Siren of the Sea as well. 8 Preserved Thorns, pretty much like our deck, but he took Restoring Retreat. Yeah, I really messed up when I didn't take Restoring Retreat. Because that was obviously the way to go. Other than that, his deck is pretty much exactly like ours. A bit more streamlined. Alright. Seraph had 3 blights. Is it a pretty risky turn 1? Because Gifts for a Guard ignores the blight and guarantees your spells. If you have a Gifts for a Guard, you are almost 100% guaranteed to get a combo off. Because you might draw the other gifts, you might draw the Deep Offering, and even if you draw neither of them, the chance that you end up with an Urchin Spines and a Bramble Lash in the same hand is very high. So I think it should be pretty reliable. Anyways, that's the end for today's daily challenge.